Ready?
Finance Audit Tender Administration Committee, Wednesday, July 16th, 2025, 12 p.m. Parkdale Room, City Hall. Like to order business. It's an open session. Number one is called order. Called order. Is there anything issue called order? Declarations. Number two, conflict of interest. Are there none? Not seeing any.
Clear.
Clear. Approval of agenda.
Clear.
Move. Seconded. Yeah. And Tamara, you're keeping up?
Yeah. It's all recorded.
For approval of previous draft minutes, June 4th, 2025.
Second.
Move, seconded. Any discussion on those minutes?
Go to page, oh no. You
Sorry.
can say all you want because
Might make a phone call.
Page 2, just want to get an update on the Alive Consulting and their report that they gave to us, well, it was given to us orally, but not in detail, and I'm just asking Lane or someone from finance, what is the summary of that investigation or work he did for the city?
So, I do have Mr. Chair, I do have a breakdown of the consulting services that Alive Consulting did. I do have, when taking over the file, I reviewed the information that he provided, which included a current draft of the bylaw that I'm taking forward to the Senior Administration Committee right now. In there's also some analysis and consideration on what some of the other jurisdictions are doing, as well as some considerations for thresholds in terms of the level of tendering that we have in our current policy now, what some other jurisdictions are doing, but also what the city of Charlottetown should consider for thresholds moving forward. So we did determine that we have a good supply of information. We have a good working draft of the procurement bylaw to the point that we can bring it forward to the senior admin committee over the next week. There's discussion about what clauses in there should be bylaw versus actual policy and procedures. That gives the staff the direction to carry out the process to ensure that it's consistent. And so the next step after we have the senior admin team further review that is to share that updated draft with feedback to the managers, more so the ones that are common users, including Public Works and Parks and Recreation and the utility as an example, get their feedback. And then the intent is to bring it forward to the finance, we're aiming for the next finance committee meeting. And if it's not the next one, it'll be the one following, but the ultimate goal is to bring this before council in September.
Just a quick follow-up, sir. So
Go ahead.
at our last meeting that was held on June 4th, do we have to go back to a live consultant, or now it's an internal piece of work that we can move through the different stages? I know you said that finance, senior admin, finance, then council.
Mhm.
Do you need any more assistance?
Where we're looking right now, I don't believe so.
Okay.
If there's further clarification that we need on some of the work that was done, it may be specifics related to that, but I'll advise the committee if we need to engage him for more support. But that will be tied to an update on the timelines going forward if we get behind again for whatever reason, and we need just someone to focus on getting this across the finish line.
And if I can just follow up quickly, Mr. Chair, just to sum it up. I think over a 12-month period, we deal with about 100 tenders. We're not like the province or the feds. Plus, we're using other vehicles like Canoe to help us, and engineers, consultants do up the tenders. So I think this piece of municipal legislative work or bylaw will be of great assistance going forward, because it was said at the last meeting by council, look, there's nothing in place. I'm just gonna go with what the recommendation is from the staff, so this way staff can be, work within that municipal legislative work. Thanks, sir.
Well, I think if I could just make comment on it, I mean, for someone to stand up and council and say we have nothing in place, it's not true.
We have a policy.
We have a policy in place that we have been following it for years. So, in my interpretation, we're updating that policy.
We're going to a bylaw, correct? Not a policy, policy and bylaw.
Policy, and, yeah, so some things will be part of the bylaw, some, the policy will continue. But we had a draft done, as you know, in 2018 or 19.
Yep.
So to me, I mean, you know, we already had a draft done, so you just update that draft, or you deal with the problem, see what the province's policy is, and update it to make our own. So we're a couple of months away from having the final draft, is what it sounds like.
Just in terms of getting it through the process for review, realistically, yeah,
Okay.
but we're close.
Yeah, so really all we were doing is massaging it from what we had before.
More than massage, we will be putting parameters in it, some benchmarks that we have to follow, correct? And the policy's there, but the policy is not strong enough.
Right, but those benchmarks are there
Policies
too.
and bylaws are different, so policy is an internal guidance document, bylaw is more.
Is for elected
For lawful.
officials and
Yeah.
for the general community to follow,
Yes.
correct?
Okay, so if I could, just for my own clarity, as chair, maybe not clear or, you know, a little confused as the delineation, like we're talking, are we running dual purpose right now with staff of updating the policy but creating a bylaw? Procurement bylaw?
Yeah, and Elaine, correct me if I'm wrong in any points here, but we are creating a bylaw that doesn't exist right now.
A procurement bylaw.
But in the interim, we still need a policy. So it's through this process, there will be updates to our policy internally. So policy is more for staff and procedural.
So as we sit in the work that's been done in the last few weeks or since, you know, you've kind of been involved and you're new on board, CAO, have your efforts been on the policy or the procurement bylaw or both?
One interrelates to the other. You can't create one without impacting the other.
Yeah, so, Chair, so what we're doing is we're going through all the information that we have now. Some of it we deem to be more appropriate as policy in terms of just giving the appropriate direction to staff internally to move stuff along, and other pieces are bylaws, so that's basically where we're at.
So will the end goal be with what you're working on, that when you do kind of bring it to us in its finality or near its end, that you'll be taking a policy and a procurement bylaw at the same time?
Essentially,
Yes.
They'll both be one.
essentially, yeah.
There'll be bylaw and there'll be policy as part of procurement.
Just pardon, again, everybody clear?
Well, fair enough, some of it's gonna be bylaw, so you really can't make any changes, and the other is policy.
But it'll go through the first reading, second reading. But just remember, legislatively, you create the act. You create the statute, or in this case, at our level, the bylaw.
Right.
Then the policy follows the act.
That's right.
That's how it works. You don't put the policy up here and then the act, statute, or municipal bylaw.
Yeah.
That has to be
Yeah.
at the top. That has to be the lead on what takes place.
But you also have to have, once it's done, I'm sure you're gonna have to go through legal to make sure it's
Oh.
a legal document, it's gonna stand up in court.
So we all good?
Yeah.
CAO and Lane predominantly?
Deputy Mayor?
Deputy Mayor, question?
Yeah.
Sorry,
That's okay.
you don't have a light.
Where's
Does
your light?
anybody have a
Where's your light?
Mercy. So
Go.
weird now.
All right.
As just to dovetail on what his worship said, that's kind of been our struggle for the last several years, is that we have a policy, but we have no guide that represents the policy, because there's no bylaw that goes with it. So we have an internal document that leads and helps direct the staff, but it's not really the meat what we need, which is why it's so important that we have this bylaw. Because right now, there is wiggle room in a policy, but once a bylaw is there, then we have something stronger to build on, I would think, so.
It's a municipal
Yeah.
legislative structure.
Right,
Yeah.
so, which is, I think, why the urgency. Now, I came in a little late and I apologize for that. One of the things we asked for in the last meeting, and I noticed it's not in the minutes, and that was, we asked for a dollar amount of what the consultant has spent to date. And I know you guys were talking about it a little bit when I came in, but it's not reflective in the minutes that we requested that. So, and also the follow-up, did you guys get the dollar amount?
No, so he did explain that he is coming forth, there is a document that's gonna be presented to us.
Okay.
It did come in today's package, correct?
Okay.
On that issue, because.
But our minutes probably should be reflective that we did request that, because it's not in the minutes.
Right.
So if I could, when we're staying with this, and we can stay in this now rather than you talking about it later, because seeing that we're on, is that fair? So, there's been urgency on behalf of myself and others on the committee and the mayor and whatever, on this procurement bylaw, getting it. Quite frankly, I thought we'd have been further along than where we are now. But it is what it is. There's been personnel changes and what have you, so that's life. But as CAO, Brad and Lane, as you're kind of been around this now for a couple of weeks, like what are you comfortable in projecting on some timelines? And again, don't tell us what you think. I want to hear what's realistic with the work that has to be done. And
So, so the next steps for us are, we're reviewing that within the senior admin team right now, the draft, reviewing that, understanding what is appropriate for policy and what's appropriate for the bylaw. And then we're sharing that with the managers of the departments that use the tendering process quite frequently, to see if there's anything from a practical standpoint that just collect their feedback on that. And then the next point after that is bringing forward to finance.
so can you quantify weeks, months, time?
So we've committed to September in terms of bringing that forward to council. Review.
Policy and the,
Policy and the bylaw.
okay.
More, obviously, the bylaw is the more important piece.
Yeah.
But the policy will follow that, right?
So we can say the fall of '25. Okay, thank you. All right, thank you for that. Just fall off. Whoa, geez, I lose my wallet. Okay. We all good then on the minutes? Number 5, business arising from the minutes. That was it. That was it, okay. I stepped out. So item 6, discussion reports. 6A. Mount Edward Road Properties, Lane Pino, Manager of Finance. And Lane, okay, sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. So we have Director Richard here as well to support myself in addressing some of the history behind this file. But back in July of 2024, there was a request for bids, an RFB issued for proposals to remove structures from 3 properties. 241 Mount Edward Road, 245 Mount Edward Road, and 54 Maple Avenue. And the city had received no responses to that RFB when it was issued. Subsequent to that, we've received a proposal from Andrews Ponds Estate Inc. For the removal of 3 residential structures, 3 sheds, and 2 outbuildings from those properties at no cost to the city. So
What properties? Did you say Andrew's property?
Andrews Pond Estates is the name of the company that brought this proposal forward.
Okay. Andrews Pond Estate, which would be John Andrews.
No, it has a similar name. It's not estate, it's estates, it's just the name of the company.
Okay.
But when you Google it, yes, it thinks about Andrews Pond, but it's not, that's just the company name.
Okay.
So, as I mentioned, Director Richard can give a little more history on that, but we're seeking approval from the committee and from council to accept that proposal and move these
So-
properties along.
Lane, we accept it and they move it, where do they go? Who gets the houses, or what do we do there? Have we done any work, I understand we reached out to Habitat for Humanity and they really rejected it.
That's right.
Okay, so have we would the province be interested in using it for, low income clients? Would they want to set them up somewhere? Like, I don't know what happens, like, once we approve the company to come in and move them, who gets the houses or where do they go?
The company does.
Yeah.
That's
That's part of the bid?
Yeah, for the no cost move, they get the houses.
Okay. I see. So actually, okay, so they're paying for the house by moving them for us then.
It's a no cost to the city, they get the houses for doing it.
So
Yeah, correct.
we did note it in the report, so the stated plans for the buildings include one of the buildings being moved to Dunstafnage, one to remain within the city of Charlottetown, and the third property to be demolished.
Okay, so that's all with the contractor.
That's all part of the proposal, yes.
So did we, in request for tender, did we indicate that these structures could be kind of free for the taking? Is that understood, or?
That's what we put out there. We said, how much are you willing to give us, or what would it cost to get rid of these properties? And we had no responses.
Okay.
So people looked at the properties and decided that
Personally,
nothing was received. So this contractor is moving the building next to the two buildings on Mount Edward Road and approached us saying, hey, we're doing all the logistics to move this one. We will offer this service to you as well to move the other two. Because there's the logistics of arranging for a wide load or moving under wires all at the same time. So they're trying to coordinate them. And then they also recognized that we were looking for the one on Maple Avenue when we put the bid out. And they looked at the bid, they just didn't respond to it at the time.
I'm just wondering through the lens, and I'm not just, I guess, trying to be as clear as we can, and we're not setting ourselves up for any kind of situation where, you know, obviously, or whatever, this becomes public, it is public, we're talking about it, that somebody said, you know, if I'd have known any different, you know, I'd have applied. I guess we're good in our process, I guess.
We put it out publicly and there were no responses.
Okay,
So then how do we get who we have?
They presented this proposal to us. Like I said, they're moving the home next to the other two on Mount Edward Road, and they did look at the bid and didn't put in a bid, but now they've approached us and said, we will remove these homes for you at no cost to you, but they get the homes if they can do anything with them. But it costs money to move structures.
Yeah.
so CAO, you comfortable with?
Well, the city has two choices. They give this opportunity and incur no cost, or we incur the cost ourselves because they need to be moved. And there's really no one stepping up to do it.
Yeah, thank you. I just wanted to comment that the report, I know that there would be potentially no cost to move them. But I think the report's a bit misleading because I was on council when we had to buy those properties. So there was a cost to the city. We purchased those for above market price and because we wanted that land. So we did pay for those. So we might not be paying to have them moved, but we did pay a substantially a lot of money for those houses. And then the people got to live in them for free for the last few years, rent-free, didn't they? Yeah, so,
Was it rent free?
No rental.
I thought we were collecting rent.
I don't know for those properties, I'd need
Yeah,
to look
It
into it.
fell under Public Works.
it was rent-free. I remember the file.
But anyway, that has nothing to do with us moving them now. It's free to move.
Right,
It's a high cost to pull them up off the foundation and move them.
yeah.
And I think that's what you're saying here is. they'll
There
pay for
was-
nothing.
To circle back to on when it comes to the Habitat for Humanity, it's not that they're not interested, they're just not in the that's not their business. Their business is providing low interest mortgages to folks to be able to build houses, so they're not really in the market to move them. But I think that if they had somewhere to move them to, they could be potentially looked at. But obviously they didn't put a bid in to have them moved. So I guess it has nothing to do with it, but do we know what they're gonna do with the little houses?
So they plan to move 2 of them right now, and hopefully that they will become homes. The other one, they've determined that it will likely have to simply be demolished.
So as part of that proposal, if I may, whenever they move the house, do they remediate the land too?
What we laid out in the original request for bids, they will do that. They will fill things back in.
Okay.
They have to empty the contents first.
Yep.
And move the structures and then put it back to grade.
Which Councillor Drawn would be pleased to guess, we're talking 54 Maple Avenue as well, correct?
Yeah.
Correct. Yep.
Awesome.
But just one question, since nobody applied to the call out for this, and then they approached you later, what makes them going to do all the things you just said when that was laid out in the proposal? Because they never applied on it, they just approached you later.
Those are the conditions that they have agreed to. That's what they've put
Okay.
in their proposal, that they will do the work as
So
per
is
their
there a
request.
breakdown of the conditions for us
We
to
have
see
that.
so should we have that? If we're voting on something, should we not see that? Cause we get ourselves into mischief sometimes that way when we're voting on this, but we don't see what we're actually voting on because there's a breakdown of a proposal that we
written.
don't see.
Can I just follow up on that?
Yep.
The contents of the proposal includes the removal of all materials. The information's in the report.
So if I go to page 9,
Correct.
in March of 2025, Andrews Pond, so we were asking about this, Richard,
Yes.
and it was back in March of 25, they approached it.
Yes.
So, but why wasn't that information transferred to us? And when I do a Google search
Yes.
on Andrews
Andrews
Pond
Pond
Estates-
Estate Inc.
Yeah.
Canadian registered company.
Yeah, so who came in? What person, Andrew Pond didn't come in, because Andrew Pond is,
Yeah, no, the director of the company
who's the
presented.
director?
Daniel Mullen.
That's what I asked you earlier, Richard. And you said, no, it's Andrew Pond. I said, is this Daniel Mullen? You said, no, it's Andrew Pond.
No, he's the director
No,
of the
but
company.
I asked you at the beginning of the meeting. And you said, no, it's Andrew Pond,
You're just asking
Estates
me,
Inc.
just asking me now. He's the
No, I
director of
asked
the
you at the start of
company.
the meeting. But Richard,
I didn't catch that, but
well,
yeah.
I'm
Sorry.
gonna clarify it now. I have some issues with that. Like, this has been going on since March 2025.
but it's just coming to the committee now for.
But I was asking questions
About what?
about the removal of, come on, Richard, about the removal of the buildings.
And we're trying to do
No,
it,
but-
we're bringing it through
But
the
since
process.
March, I've been asking about these buildings, the removal of these buildings for the last year. You guys have been in negotiations, according to page 9, since March 2025.
It has taken us
And
some,
we
some-
already have a situation with Andrew Pond, another company of Andrew Pond Estates Inc. Like, guys,
What's the other issue we have?
I'm wrong.
Oh, okay.
Like,
well,
I knew there was something, that's why I kept I did the search. So he's the director, who else is up? If I go to the,
just one director listed.
okay, there's only one director, so there's only, and it's an incorporated body?
Yes.
Anyways,
So do we have a timeline
Well, they're hoping to coordinate it all. I mean, you can see they are set up at the other home now to do it and hoping that they can coordinate it with these other two buildings. They did, and they have provided a timeline. It has taken us too long to bring it forward to committee to get approval. And we are now here at committee seeking approval to move it forward.
Well, Mr. Chair, if I could say this, I know right now, full disclosure, this is gonna probably develop into, Philip Brown is in conflict, because I ran in the last election. I've already heard this. So,
Conflict for what?
he was a candidate. I just find guys like, listen, I'm glad this is live streamed, because I know he's watching right now. I have some issues. I have some concerns.
So there's a subcontracted company that moves structures. We'll have insurance in place and they've agreed to the
Richard,
terms.
we've agreed to other
We're working through negotiations
other
with
issues
another
under
company on
contract
another matter.
since 2019.
Why don't we do this? Why can't we put in a clause in the contract before we approve that there's a drop dead deadline that it has to be removed or remediated?
Sure. I mean, again, there is
That's the issue, right?
no cost to us, and this is somebody willing to do the work. I mean, we can say that it does
Can't go
need
on.
to be.
It can't go on forever,
Yeah,
we have
I
to have
think-
an end date.
It's not in our interest for it to drag on, I guess is what the committee's saying, so I think if we could get that, Richard, like.
Sure.
And, mitigate any risk of,
I'd like to defer it until we get that.
Yeah, and I'm not supporting it until I actually get to read the document. Because
Okay.
although it's in the report, I wanna see actually what we've agreed to. Because too many times we have things in the report and then we find out later that there's a little bit more, and that's no disrespect to anybody. I just would like to see the agreement before I support this.
But
I'm sure it
how
can be
about we
great, but
attach
I'd like
it
to see the agreement.
with the resolution to go before council? I mean,
I'd like
that's
to see it before it
information that
goes
we
there.
can include. So you would see it in the council
No,
package.
I'd like to have, if it's all right with the chair, to call a special meeting to come right back and review this.
We can email it to you
No.
after this, but again, the details of it are included in the report. I believe council is interested in having this work
Yeah.
done. We're talking
Yeah.
about holding timelines, and I'm just looking for a way for us to make sure that we kind of stick to the timelines. Because we haven't brought it forward to committee and council, we're a little bit behind on the timelines.
If I could ask, but what timelines are we behind on?
The proposal that we received in March from the proponent.
To remove the three buildings.
Yes. Yeah, because we want to try and get the one Maple Avenue out during the summer holidays before school's back in, and we want to coordinate with the removal of the one already on Mount Edward Road, and they're set up to move.
But what are we holding up? Like if
Yeah.
the houses were to sit another month or two, what are we holding up? Because Spencer Lane's not going through. And Maple Avenue can wait a month. I mean,
But so the contractor is set up to move one on Mount Edward Road, and we would like to move the one from Maple Avenue before school's back in.
So I'm available for a special meeting if.
I'll move to deferred. I wanna move to deferred.
But again, we can
Let
provide,
me just finish.
we can provide you the information
I just-
in an
yeah.
email and you
I
can
want-
discuss it at
again,
council.
move it for deferral. I want the information, we come back here, discuss it at the committee.
I just,
I need a second for deferral.
no, I just want to question. Because it sounds like what Richard is saying, so what Deputy Mayor is asking for and what Richard is saying, we'll get a copy of the agreement.
Yeah.
The agreement can be amended to have a drop deadline.
Oh, there's.
So if we're in a hurry to move it, we're in a hurry to move it, get her done, this is the date.
Sure.
If it doesn't move,
Yeah, then we'll move on to something else, but then it's us probably going and trying to find a moving and demolition contractor and us paying for it. But we will put dates in there and they need to meet those dates, and then the agreement is null and void after those dates, and then we
So if we
do
have
another
that-
process.
we can still have that sent to us. It doesn't delay it going to council. I would be concerned about moving that during school when it's right next to a
Yeah.
certain school.
Council Bernard, I
My
have
concern is that if we just get the stuff through email, then this committee's not done their committee work. Because we've not
It's
endorsed
going to
it.
council now. No, it's not endorsed, it's going to council.
I know it always goes to council, but committee has to either accept staff's recommendation, or if it's differing, not accept staff's recommendation, it's still gonna go to council. So then the report would have to be reflective then that, we're sending it on to council based on that it's differing, that we're not really accepting it because we're waiting on an email and a document.
which we could get this afternoon.
So if
And
I,
we can have emergency meeting.
so if I could, so can we, as chair, I'm prepared to meet for whatever special meeting on this. And if I understand sensitivity to time, it sounds like there's two things to be clarified. A date and some detail on background. Can that be done in the next week?
Let me,
Again, Mr. Chair, I go back to page 9. March 2025, Andrews Pond Estates approached the city. I've been asking about these 3 properties for some time. And now to be updated on July 7th or July 16th to say we have to get this done right away, that's not following process, guys. That's not following process. I've been asking.
I'm trying to follow the process, bringing it through committee now and getting
Okay,
it.
backwards, okay, excuse me.
2025.
Okay, excuse me, so back to my question, can we arrange this within the next 10 days
or less.
or less?
I will email you the information this afternoon.
You're looking for a special meeting, Chair?
Yeah,
Yeah, I've seconded his deferral.
So you can have it tomorrow. They'll have all the information this evening, so.
yeah, no, and I,
If we're asking for information, Councilor Bernard, then we have to ask for information equipment. I'd like to see what the equipment's gonna be there. Okay, again, you're moving a building. I move buildings in this city. You have to move power lines. There's a cost to that. You have to clear traffic. Who takes care of that? I wanna see the plan, how the plan will be executed. Because if you're moving them from Mount Edward Road or Maple Avenue to Dunstaffnage, you get clear sale going out St. Peter's Road. Then you have to get through Maple Avenue, down Mount Edward Road. That might be the easiest because you hit the bypass. But the Maple Avenue is gonna be a concern.
no,
And I wanna see equipment.
no, good points,
And
okay.
and the person moving it would probably need to present their permit to where they're
They'll need
taking
permits
it,
too.
like all that kind of stuff, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Anyway, that turned into a dynamic. Okay, 6B,
True enough, true enough.
What's the date? I'm going back to the date.
6B, Assistant Manager of Finance, Lane Pino, report, Manager of Finance.
Thank you, Chair. So, back in, shortly after I started, in December 2024, the senior finance officer role became vacant, in February 2025 roughly. It gave me the opportunity to step back and review the needs of the department at this time. And in review, in terms of the skill set that we're looking to support the city as it grows and as the financial requirements and financial support requirement continues to grow, we identified that an assistant manager of finance position would be the most appropriate to proceed with at this time. It assists with addressing some of these demands of a growing city and provide critical operational support. It would also alleviate the workload of the finance manager, being myself, who is expected to play a more active role in policy, bylaw development, obviously the procurement piece, and strategic financial initiatives. And also this role would provide support with regards to performance management and day-to-day supervision. So we're asking the committee to support the creation of this position, and for it to move to the Human Resource Committee for approval, and then ultimately council approval.
So, Lane, if I could just reiterate what I think you said, essentially you're looking for the support of an assistant manager of finance, is that correct?
Yes.
And in arriving with that, I know you gave some background, some rationale. Has their CAO Brad have
I am fully
you've been part
supportive,
of
yeah.
this?
fully supportive of the creation of this position, and it's not all coming, like, there's an absence in the senior financial officer's role, so this is just kind of elevating that position to take on a little more responsibility and support.
So, on this, not real familiar with the intricacies, I guess, and the needs, but does this, I know, am I right? There's nobody been hired to replace Steve Burke, is that correct?
That's correct.
So
So-
is this a bit of a reflection of that, this need, or this ask?
Yes, absolutely. So what we would do,
You're not creating a new position, you're filling one that's vacant.
right, so
Just changes some job description.
You're maybe changing the role and the duties?
Yeah, so what we're doing basically is refraining from backfilling the senior finance officer role. That will remain vacant. We'll utilize that budget to support this position going forward, and then we'll review that senior finance officer role at a later time to see if
So is it related to titles? What was Steve Burke's title?
it was senior finance officer.
Not to be confused with manager, I guess.
Right. And the assistant manager role, it aligns with the other assistant manager roles within the department and provides a little bit more weight towards supporting staff, supervising staff, providing performance management. We feel that this role is more, the duties under this role is more appropriate to do that, and that would obviously support myself. And this is a CPA designated role as well, that.
So I'm sensing from you, Lane, since you've been in the chair, that it's clear to you now that obviously you have the full confidence that you're making the request you're making, and it's supported with CAO. How's the committee feel?
Oh, I guess the question I have is, I heard Lane say that there's not a senior financial officer in place, if we're gonna use that budget to fill in for an assistant manager role. But I thought we're filling an assistant manager's position. That was there before, so we still should have that budget. We shouldn't have to go to senior finance.
We didn't have assistant
So
manager
this
before.
position didn't exist before.
So
The
you're
assistant-
creating a new position then?
So it's creating a new position, yes.
But you're using the money from the financial officer to use. So when you say you're gonna park that role for now, you'll have no money left in your budget. You'll have to come back and ask for money all like that. You can't come back in 6 months and we're gonna forget and go, oh yeah, you can have that one too, because that money will be gone. You're gonna
Exactly.
allocate that money. You're asking us to reallocate that money, so that position can no longer be filled,
That's
even though
correct.
it was an acting position. So you can't show it as vacant anymore, cause you've taken the money away.
Exactly. It would be
But it would show as vacant.
unfunded,
I
but it
mean,
would
that's
be
what-
unfunded.
So that was my question really come
Yeah.
down to, so it's a new position. So are we not going to fill a senior financial position in the future?
That's
The
not,
officer.
yeah, that's not the intent.
Okay.
Yeah,
So the money's there, we're not looking for new money.
that's correct. Except there is a slight difference in classification. This is the senior finance officer is a non-union,
But we're still getting.
And it'll have to be designated,
non-management
credited,
position. And
has to be a CPA,
Exactly.
which Steve wasn't.
You're still getting a procurement officer slash accountant, right?
and that was, yes, and that budget
So-
was
So you
approved.
got those two positions, okay?
And so just
It's
so-
really a plus one, I guess, in terms of.
It's
If-
additional
so we get the procurement
capacity,
officer.
it's gonna give us additional
Yes.
capacity within the finance. But there will be budget implications in the fact that the senior financial role was at a lower pay scale than this proposed role. So although there's money that's been
Not
saved,
enough,
right? Going forward, next year budget will have to,
need more.
it'll add on to accommodate for this role.
So can I just get clarification, are you still planning to fill the role of the financial,
Senior
officer?
financial officer, no.
So not ever?
But not
Say ever.
foreseeable future, I wouldn't say forever.
If there's identified that there's an additional role or a skill set that we require down the road as the city continues to grow.
Okay.
But to your point, at that time, we would have to come to the committee and to council to get support of that in terms to get it funded.
So in terms of your timeline, if it's blessed by this committee, finance, then it would go to HR to be created and advertised and if everything will work well, you're hoping to have someone in the next
As soon as
few months.
possible.
As soon as possible.
So what I'm voting on today is a new position. It's assistant business manager, the assistant manager for business department or finance department. And I thought we had a controller at one time. I thought Steve Wedlock was our controller. Remember that? Did we still have the controller on our list of employees?
So, we have a senior accountant,
That's the controller?
which is covering most of those. I haven't seen what the controller role
But you know what
job description
controller
was,
is.
but it's covering.
We have a
It's
person
covering
doing,
most of those
doing that,
functions.
that position.
So
Which is,
yeah, I'm voting for a new position, and I agree with, we need an assistant manager of finance, and that senior financial officer, it's still gonna be on your list of members of your staff. It's
Yeah.
like next year's budget, it's still gonna, when you're budgeting, you're gonna say, I need money in that role. Might not use it, but he'll go somewhere else. Point is, you need him, you need her, let's go for it.
Yeah, and I'm okay with it too, I just wanna get clarity, because the senior finance officer, did you say it pays less than the assistant manager?
Yes.
Senior finance officer pays less than the assistant manager. So that's why you're saying in the new budget will have to be popped up.
yeah, well, plus it needs accreditation,
CPA?
CPA.
The senior finance officer would too, I
Nope.
would think.
He never had a CPA.
Susan,
And also the assistant manager role kind of beefs up the supervision and the management oversight to support.
Gives you
me.
something to delegate to.
Right. Sure.
I don't know how you become a senior financial officer with the city of Charlottetown and not have a CPA, but anyway, that's for another day. I'm fine with it.
I'm ready to
Money in
go.
the budget.
Green
I don't
light.
think We're talking too much.
Okay, we're good?
Yep.
So, does it, Tamara, you got that?
I got one, the mayor, Terry.
Okay. And deputy?
Yep.
Okay, steaming along, six C, update the committee in matters of interest, Lane Pino. I think we've, we closed you there, Wayne. I know I, back and forth with you, confirmed that we're gonna talk about procurement bylaw, which we've done. I'm good with that, hope everybody else is. Is there anything else? Go ahead.
So again, this is the typical report we provide every month, the year-end audit, so we are working to prepare for MRSB to be on site. They were on site in April previously to do some preliminary testing, and we were looking to have them back on site in August to do more of their field testing, so that's a priority for us that we're working towards right now. There will be a tender, I'm reviewing a draft tender document for another stream of long-term debt financing to support our capital expenditure. So we'll be looking to get that out within the next couple of weeks to support our 25-26 capital budget and 5-year plan. The procurement officer posting has closed recently. I have not coordinated with HR to see the list, but my understanding is there's a good list there. There was a good response for it, so we're looking to get that position filled as soon as possible to support our procurement initiatives. So beyond that, there's a list of the tenders. I'm not going to go through those in terms of what's in motion there. The only edit that I have is Hertz Hall was noted as a deadline or closing of July 17th, and that was changed to July 24th as of this morning. So that's all I have. So that's for information purposes.
That's all you have?
That's all I have.
And it's a quarter one?
No, hold on, we got a question there, I got a question, hold on. So,
I do too.
no, Mr. Chair, go ahead.
No.
Mr. Chair, looking on page 20, tenders RFP, RFQ update. This has been brought up again, some of you are receiving calls. We did budget a couple of years ago for the Spencer Drive extension. Are we gonna put that back in this year's budget? And secondly, on the Eastern Gateway, Big Dig project, the Eastern Gateway project, where are we at with the purchase of the land that lies between Water Street Parkway and Grafton Street East? That is the new road that we built. I know that's not a capital project, but that is the remnants of a capital project that was out of $14.3 million. So I'd like to know, you don't have to give the information now, but I'd like to know where it's at. We did make an offer was made to us to buy the Charlottetown event grounds, but then that changed, and then we got another figure coming in, so I'd like to know just the update. So Spencer Drive, can't answer it now, and also where are we at with the Eastern Gateway?
So on Spencer Drive, is that the 3 million allocation that you're talking about?
So that's the extension Spencer Drive
Is
to,
that what you're talking about?
what?
Mr. Banks, in terms of his questions, is that
Correct,
right on the 3 million?
correct. It was put in the budget, but we never did anything with it.
Yeah.
Oh, we did, we bought 2 houses.
Yeah, so, and I guess, just to be clear on that, I mean, it's my understanding with internally that the request for the Spencer Drive extension from the concerned parties or developers that's been handled and gonna be communicated with staff internally, between, I guess, the CAO and appropriate department heads as to what's going on with the Spencer Drive extension, and I guess predominantly, I know Tim Banks, one of the developers, has been very transparent, I guess, in asking for clarity around that, and that I'm assuming there's,
We're trying to find a path forward there, to find a solution, so I think we're gonna come back with an update on that. I am meeting Mr. Banks next week, just as part of the discussions, but our staff are working on it.
so I guess what I'd like to know if you know, myself or other councillors receive that kind of request or clarity, what should the direction be in terms of an answer or direction? Richard?
Yep, so we are working now with the developers to understand the nature of their development and the infrastructure needs so that we can get the proper infrastructure designed. And we are waiting to hear on a funding request that would help the development community move this project forward. We are working with the developers now on the design for Spencer Drive and the development in that area, and we have a funding application in to help with the project.
And did you say CAO, Brad, that you're gonna be meeting with Mr. Banks, does that?
Just to promote good, good communication and try to, ensure, we are trying to find solutions to this, and our team is trying to understand with the development community out there, what is best suited for that area, and it's just ongoing discussions.
Yep, appreciate that, thank you.
So, just for clarity,
Councilor Barry,
when you're talking Spencer Lane, you're talking about
Spencer Drive.
Spencer Drive, this year's budget or last year's?
Last year's.
Last year's.
Yeah. No, it's not in this year's budget.
I know we had talked about it during budget. So it was in last year's, never got used.
Didn't get used, we bought 2 houses.
Okay, are we good?
No, I do
Okay,
have one
Councilor
question,
Bernard.
and I know, Lane would be quite familiar with this. So Lane, we had conversations during budget about projects that are approved, but haven't been started yet. And then we have that magical end of the year date of March, where all of a sudden, we transferred most over, we didn't transfer all over. And I'm just wondering, one of those was the debacle we're in now with sidewalk, with the $3 million, but there's really only 1.5 because 1.5 was committed last year. That was supposed to get transferred over and it didn't. I'm wondering what's the best way to transfer that back over, because it didn't during budget, which we should have. So that's why I'm wondering what's the best way to put that 1.5 back in to keep the budget at 3 million. Because although it shows 3 million here, it's only 1.5 because of committed from 2024. That was committed and had to be paid for. So normally we would have carried that over. So what's the best way to do that?
So there's a couple of options, because from a budgeting standpoint, we're looking at fiscal year 25, 26 in its own box, right?
Yeah.
So in terms of money committed last year, approved last year. If it's not carried forward, we still have the funding issue this year.
That's
Right? So the options would be to bring forward to council a funding request to increase the capital budget estimate for that project for this year. Noting the fact that it was approved prior, but the funds were not carried forward. The other alternative would be in terms of, and I talked to the manager of Public Works there briefly yesterday, is for us to take a look at the current status of all of our capital projects. And if we've identified other projects that have been deferred or delayed for whatever reason where we
Maybe,
think
you
that
may already have it in there.
we think that, yeah, if there's a
Okay.
scenario where we think the money may have to be pushed back within the 5-year plan, then maybe we could do a funding transfer and it still is within our existing envelope.
Sure thing.
Okay, we good?
I think Wayne's doing a great job.
Mr. Chair, you know, this, Councilor Bernard keeps bringing up this issue. Why don't we just put a resolution right here now to increase the budget?
Well, he's saying that they may have it. I'm okay with waiting to see if they have it. I don't wanna wait too long, cause you
But then that requires a vote to transfer it, right? If we take it from somewhere else, we have to vote on
It
transfer.
would still have to come through the finance committee.
But it's not new money. It's money that's already been approved.
For another project.
It's up to council, yeah.
Yeah, well, but the window in this season is getting smaller.
Yeah, that's why, what did the public works manager have any concern about timelines?
With respect to this project,
And as far as funding, like was he identifying some possibilities or?
not right off, and what I talked to him about without taking the timing into the consideration was I was looking to pump out our capital budget in August to the full list to our departments for them to review all of their capital projects and identify any deferrals, and I indicated to the manager, like once we went through that exercise, we'd be able to identify
So I
some
think.
potential transfers.
Sarah, I think it'd be okay, in August, we'll look at that and we'll see, and if it doesn't look like it's wrong, then we'll put the resolution on.
Let's get this done. It's going on too.
No, you're
Are
right, you're right,
But for just clarity, because are we talking about sidewalks here, or are we talking about Spencer Drive?
sidewalk.
Sidewalks, okay.
Spencer Drive is a different issue. Yeah,
Spencer Drive,
Yeah.
you got
it was in the budget.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure we didn't
You
blend
you and Richard.
conversations there, yeah.
And just before we close, I'm glad you brought that up, CAO Brad. So for tomorrow's meeting, this special meeting, I'd like to know the equipment that's gonna be used for moving these buildings,
Excuse me, we're talking tomorrow?
well, whenever it is,
Um,
as soon as we
24
can.
hours.
Yeah, I'd like to know the equipment that's gonna be used.
We may need a few days.
I think the deputy made it clear, we would know there are permits will be required. Police will be required because you have to shut down roads. I know that for moving buildings. And I think our director of community services made it quite clear, the priority is Maple Avenue. We wanna get it out of there before school. So I would say that should be the first building to be moved.
Well, if he's on Mount Edward Road now, if this goes through and he's on Mount Edward Road, I can see him doing the next one on Mount Edward Road, if he wants to move them
I
all.
wanna make sure.
He's not gonna wanna jump back.
Equipment, timelines, permits, everything.
May have to be the first of the week, it's tomorrow at noon, I can't make it.
Golf?
Well, I'm not lying.
Oh, no.
No, he's not lying, cause I'm.
That's you need 24 hours anyways, and 24 hours
that's
is
right.
probably pushing
So
it.
Friday would be yours.
We'd need a little bit of time anyway.
Just wanna keep that information there. I like to always have the information, full picture.
Philip, how much was in for Spencer Lane?
Spencer Drive? No, 3 million plus.
Put the road in.
It's gonna be more than 3 million, I'll tell you that. There's a lot of grade there that has to be filled in. It's gonna be another bypass road. Oh, did you ever walk it? Go
Okay,
walk it.
agenda, number 7, introduction to new business.
Just wanted to say, Mr. Chair, you did a great job.
No.
And I love committee work.
Did we
And
do
I'll
six
second
I
C?
love committee work.
Any introduction to new business?
Did we do 6C?
Yes.
That's moving over.
Just-
All those updates?
We did it all.
We did all that. Oh, yeah, good. It all just
Come
weaved,
to, sweetheart,
that's like
come
you
to.
saying Spencer Drive, it all just weaved into the same conversation.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Introduction to new business, is there any?
None?
Any new business?
Nope.
We're all good.
Number
Motion
eight,
to move.
adjournment.
Yep.
Motion
Thank you, Mr.
second.
Chair.
All right, thank you.
Thank you kindly, sir.